And welcome back to OSG Development RedM Tutorials. This is series part 4. And in our past series that we we worked on our interior here. We applied our textures, and then we had worked on some basic modeling there. This is not much of a modeling tutorial, but from there. So we are currently working with all the shaders are from inside the game. So we used some exterior buildings there. We had our house model here. We joined everything as one. So right now it's not joined here. But we went overhead and we went and joined everything together as one. And we exported that out into our Codex and tested that inside the game. This is basically what we did. Is we have now that this is how the exterior looked earlier. We went and made sure that all the collisions are completely working. We added the ramp to the stairs here, making sure that we're not hopping up any stairs while in game. All right, we then so we got the different structures here, and we come over here. Now we're gonna just open up our Codex 28 there. Again, this is we're working out of Codex 28, and I don't really work out of any other version, so open up Codex for RedM RDR2, and we will then just another thing also to remember, please, is that we are working out of Solemns 2.6 1 for RDR. Okay, so very important. Links and all that will be in my Discord along within the description as well. All right, coming over here to Codex, we're gonna just locate over here into Blackwater, where we had decided where we were gonna place this building. All right, just the confirming. So we're just gonna go here and open our folder. We're gonna select our stream folder where our server is located. And we're just gonna come over to our folder here. We had in our OSG folder. Now you can put this in any folder you want and name it however you want to make it there. All right, selecting that, and then as you can see, this was the house that we worked on. As you can see, there's no interior yet. We will be working on that today. All right, so now with that being said, we come back here to Codex. Now we won't need the exterior building anymore. We're gonna come and we're going to expand and open our shell and our details. We won't need the other buildings that we were working on for textures. All right, we want to make sure that we are, everything must be, all the transforms, and that must be 0. So just making sure we're gonna come over here and then hit transforms and just make sure everything's all to 0. Every single, even the top, all that must be zeros before we can proceed to anywhere else. If you do not make sure it's zeros, if you make any movements, adjustments, make sure you clear in all transforms there. Another thing is that we're gonna make sure that we're checking our vertice counts there. So the game can only allow so many vertices inside inside the model. So if you have, I believe, more than 23,000 vertices, then we have to break this up into different chunks, right? So now we're going to work on our details. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna join this, and just gonna add a couple zeros there. And I'm just gonna grab the name and I will paste that to that name. I'm keeping it as 01 just in case if I do have to break this up there. We'll see how things go. With that, you're going to basically convert this into a drawable then auto embed it. Okay, with that, we do not need the top level. And we will then just hide the shell for a second here. And we also hit our model as well for this. We're looking for just maybe a basic wood collisions. And then we're going to just hit create. Gotta basically now open up our material, and as you can see, there is our wood. And then let me just make sure, was there any left over? Yes, there was. Okay, so let me also go over to this one as well and remove any unused there, so we don't get messed up in later on. So we're gonna expand this, and we're gonna come over here to our poly mesh. Now, because I removed unused, it took that way, so I have to re-add that. Selecting the model, going into edit mode. Select each material, you can hit assigned. We're just gonna assign this all to one collision right now for our details. Now it's up to you how you do things. If there was any kind of like glass or any metals or anything like that, you want to make sure that you have the collisions. All right, so we're going to come over here now and remove all unused. So we just now left with our wooden collision. And now we're going to make sure we're going to apply our general flags to our BVH. All right, and we're selecting this. And we will go ahead and export this out into a folder that I will create. So we're just going to come over exporter. I'm going to come here and call this details. We don't need a Y type for this. All right, we're going to actually add this to the Y type that will be for the shell and collisions, everything like that. Coming over here to our for our textures, come here, we'll create another folder called this txt for textures. Accept. All right, so you must be on this level, and oh yeah, we have to unhide this, and then select the model and extract. So we successfully extracted that. I'm just gonna go ahead and just export this again, just make sure, as I did not have that. I had that unhidden earlier. All right, coming over here into our Codex Explorer. We're gonna just go ahead and open up that. All right, bring in our Codex Explorer here. I'm just gonna close off this past project I had, and then go ahead and open up the folder location where my server is located. So actually, we're not too far. We're pretty much in the same areas as my other projects there. We're gonna look for the houses 01, and then go ahead and select folder. Inside there, you can go see the inside the stream. Now you're gonna have to go into edit mode and hit yes. I'm gonna go ahead and import our details. We're gonna go back to our tutorials folder, and then we will basically now import that YDR. Now when you open up this YDR, you're not gonna see any textures here. And that's because we did not embed the textures. Now it's not good to embed the textures. It's actually going to be called on our YTDs. So I'm going to grab the same name as the details, and then I'm going to come over here to YTD and paste that into the YTD. Open up the YTD. I will then bring over here. I will go ahead and hit the plus button, and I'm going to locate that txt folder and hit select A. Raw, and then hit import. Save that. All right, again, you're looking at it, it won't show up because it does not know about that YT, but we'll just double check the collisions are still there. So yes, we're good for that. And now we will work on our shell. So at this point, we're gonna just minimize some of this stuff here, that, and we'll hide this. We don't need the details for now. We're gonna make a new collection here, and I'm gonna call this YBN for your collisions. YBin. I'm gonna select all right here and right click and then copy. Come over here to this collection, right click, and then go ahead and paste. So up here we have our shell, And then down here we will have our collisions. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and expand that. We're gonna join everything together for our collisions. And you don't want to use the drawable convert to drawable. You actually want to come down here to collisions and hit convert to composite. All right, so I did make a mistake. Actually, I gotta just step back a few seconds here because you know what? I forgot to do one more step. Hold on. There you go. Joining this again. This time, actually, we forgot to give it a name. So we're gonna just come over here, grab that name, delete shell, and we're gonna call it COL for collisions. Okay. Now that one being selected, we're gonna hit convert. This top one we will not need, so we can hit delete, and we expand this, and now all the names should be fine. Now we're gonna look at everything inside of what kind of collision materials that we're going to give for each section. So we know we got the floor here, and we're gonna select the floor, and I like to use the old creaky wood, especially for wood inside. Makes a creaky sound here. You're gonna go ahead and convert that over here and make sure that is assigned to room 1. Now if you have multiple rooms, you're gonna have to create a material for each room and assigning that to each room. Go ahead and we will look just for a wood only, maybe like a medium wood. We're gonna just hit create. Actually, you know what? We'll just hit convert, and then from there select all here, and then we'll just assign that the frames as well. We'll select each frame, and we'll assign this to that texture. We got some stone over here, so we'll look for some stone, and then we can just hit selecting all. Right, and then we hit convert. You can come off of edit mode and then select unused material. So we got 3 collisions here for this model or shell. Now each section we're going to make sure they're all assigned to room 1. Again, if you have multiple rooms, so if I was going to say create that room right here as a room, I'd have to call all the collision material in there would be under room 2. So I would just change that 1 to a 2. And then going into edit mode, you will want to make sure you have a line that basically splits off that, so it separates the 2 floors, and you have room 2 and you have room 1 right there. With this tutorial, we're just working on a basic 1 room. Maybe later on I will show the 2 room or 3 room basics. All right, so with that, you're going to then come up here. You do not need any of your modifiers at all on your collision. So we're gonna go ahead and remove all your modifiers that were belonging. Some shaders, like different things. Again, we don't need the UVs here, and we don't need any of our colors as well. We're gonna remove every single color inside this list, so it should be empty, right? So we're gonna select the BVH and hit apply presets and hit select selection here. Come up here and then hit export, and then we're gonna just come back up a little bit. We're gonna create a new folder called this shell and COL. Going to get that, and then we don't need anything from here, so we're just gonna import this. All right, and then we're just gonna go ahead and import our stuff. We're gonna find that location of where we exported that out. So we went in here and we imported. We also can work on the shell as well. So we're gonna hide that collisions and selecting all that. Coming up to file, and then come here to export same folder, no problem. Hit export and export it to no issues. Okay, it's coming up over here, and we'll just go and just confirm some things. All right, so here's the exported folder, and we're gonna just create a txt file in here for our textures. Earlier you saw me doing within the 7 lives tool, but here I'm doing it just in that. I grab a copy paste of that name, come up here to tools, open up that folder, hit this Control C, Control V, so accept. Now for each one of them, I'm just gonna hit extract. So not the top level, below. Gonna go ahead extract. Now if you get some errors like this, it means that you probably most likely have a texture in there that's not part of your model. So what we're gonna do is just coming over here, selecting that, we're gonna come to here, and we will just remove all unused slots. We're just gonna confirm every other one, so it looks like that. So come here, hit extract. It was just no errors. As you can see, extract again for that one, no errors. All right, now from here we go back into our Codex Explorer, and then we're gonna right click, and while you're on edit mode, and you're gonna go ahead and import, basically selecting those two and hit OK. Now we can just go ahead and look at this. We're gonna grab that name. All right, we're gonna go ahead and make sure we have a YTD for our shell textures. Okay, and then from here, selecting all that and hit OK. We'll go ahead and hit save. All right, and now we're gonna come down here to our architecture definition. We're gonna start working on this. So I'm gonna hit plus. All right, and then here I'm just gonna grab the same name as our collision name. All right, well, we're gonna paste that there. All right, we will make sure at the top selection of just the shell, and it's on base, and we're gonna just hit auto select. All right, and then same with our collisions. So let me just hide this, all this collisions. Same thing as well. We'll change that to now MLO, and then hit auto select. This is gonna, the shell, we're gonna have where all the texture dictionary name. So if you had some other name that you named it, you may want to change that now in this section here. You will definitely want to make sure. So if you call it TXT or whatever you called it, you want to make sure you call it on this section right here. This is the part that's going to be talking for the texture dictionary that we had just exported out right there. All right, so now with that, we're going to come over here to our collisions. This is the main brain of everything here, and making sure that we have everything all set as zeros, and we'll now hit create limbo. You see there's a little blue line around the outside, so that will let us know it's things. We're going to create one room. I like to, it's best to use lowercase letters. I'm just going to call this room 1, even though there's only one room, but we're just going to call room 1. You can call maid room, living room, bedroom, whatever you want, however you want to know what is what per each room. All right, so I'm going to go up here into edit mode. It's selecting a couple parts of the roof, and then selecting some edges here on the outside of the door frames. Coming around and hit the back as well. Grab these door frames as well, or these windows frames, should I say? And you know, let's grab this one as well. And then I'm gonna hit select bounds from selection. All right, so we're gonna see that is there. We need to assign this to the room ID that we had give this room. So again, if you have 2 rooms, you will have to have 2 rooms, and then you assign that per room, that the bounds for each room. go back into object mode. And actually, no, hold on. Now we're going to work on our portals. Now, what I like to do is I'll grab edge, and then with our magnet tool selected here, I can hit E for extrude, and then and hit Z. That should now bring it straight down. There is a little gap here, and really, I think the exterior kind of came in here, so it shouldn't really matter. And yeah, so that should be fine. Now making sure that we had separated this out, and we're calling this portal, renaming that. And then just I want to convert this. I want to see how this will look. I'm just going to take off my magnet tool a little bit, just make a little bit adjustments. Try to maybe center this in the door frame as much as possible. You just gotta have a look around, and that should be fine. I'm gonna just bring this down tiny bit so the portal is more down. And then with the same with these sides, I'm just gonna bring it more into the frame a little bit. Make sure your magnet tool is off so you think. I got the top here, and we're just gonna bring this up a little bit. And actually, you know what? In fact, I'm gonna just cover the whole thing because this is all one portal. All right, and now so that looks pretty good as well. We're just gonna get off of edit mode, come over here to the windows, and we're gonna select the top edge. I'm just gonna period key on my numpad and select them both and hit F for fill. And I'll just continue going around to every single window, and then just hitting each edge, and I will then just zoom in a little closer. I can see, hit F for fill. Now we'll worry about this door afterwards. I'll show you what I will do with this door, but from here we're just gonna keep on continuing going around. And same with that door as well. We will won't work on that one right now. We'll wait on that. Okay, let's just look and then see how many more windows we got. I got this one right here. All right, did I miss any windows? So let's just kind of like get around and look a little bit. Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm gonna just get a little bit closer. So I don't want that edge. I want to make sure it's the bottom edge and this edge here, and hit an F for fill. All right, so now with that, we can then go around and hit 3 on your keyboard for face select. We're gonna just go ahead and select each face that we had did, and then oh shoot, I forgot one right here. So I will go ahead and just come in and just make the edits here as well. Just grab that face selection here, 3 on your keyboard, and then just gonna grab every single face, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be separating this from the model itself, because we're not exporting out these faces here. It's just more of a template that we will use to help us create the portals. All right, so going off that and then selecting those faces, I'm going to hit Alt P to clear and keep transforms. Take those two, and I'm going to join that together. Yeah, I should have renamed this to portals again. I made a mistake the way I selected it. It's fine, it's not a huge issue. Coming back in edit mode, selecting hitting Shift D to duplicate that, and just move this over a little bit, and then try to get this onto the other door frames. Now I'm going to select the magnet tool to kind of made that. I'm gonna hit G on my keyboard, and then trying to get this as much as possible. Hit G and then go there. All right, zoom in a little bit there, and then we're just gonna quickly look at this for a second. And then so what we're gonna do is just try to let's turn off the magnet tool. Actually, we don't need the magnet tool. And let's just try to bring this in center of the frame, and you need to move the camera inside, move your camera, and you want to try to center this as best as possible. Might need to move it up a little bit. I saw some red there. Again, We hit shift D to duplicate that, and then come over here to this door frame as well. We'll make our small little adjustments here, and we will try to center this as much as possible. Now with that, we can pretty much now take off object mode, and we will come here. Now we won't need any materials or any collisions because it's just a more template from my portals. So we're just gonna remove all that, so it makes it easier for us to see. Coming over here to portals, you want to select from room whatever you are to limbo, and make sure you're on the outside. Select faces, and the portal is defined by 4 points. So as you can see, there is 2 on the bottom and should be 2 on the top as well. All right, and so we're gonna go back to 3 for select, and then I'm just take create from that there. Let's go into every single face here, and just continuing to create, making sure you are on the outside of the room, not inside the room, and just continuing. Go ahead and create your portals. And you're not going to see anything until we are off of this edit mode for our template here. But once we hit that, we can now select our thing, and we can notice that we did miss one. So just go select that face and then select that and hit create as well. All right, so now we go off of edit mode, and then objects, we can hide those. We don't need that. And then there you go. Those are pretty much things. Make sure the arrows are pointing out. That's very important to make sure that. Now these windows here, they can be more in the middle. Like you could probably maybe move them more in at the center of that. So what I'll probably do is I'm gonna probably just make some adjustments. So let me just go back, and we'll go to my template here, and then selecting this. And just basically go into edit mode, selecting that face, this face, and that one. Do we have another one? Yes, we do. Okay, that, and then we're just gonna pull it out a little bit so it's more centered of the window frame itself. And we'll swing around to the other side because we'll probably have to do the other windows as well. So selecting that face, and this one and that one, and that should be fine. So we're gonna pull that out a little bit and center that a little bit better there. Got these 2 back windows as well. We'll bring that as well. Now what we'll have to do is we're gonna have to go and remove all the portals that we just created. If it's 1 or 2, you can try to figure out which one it is to adjust, but for this case there's only 12 portals, so we're gonna make it easier to just recreate these over again. So go again on face select and hit create. So we're just gonna quickly go around this building, and then just hit create from, and we should have a total of 12. So let me just continue. 5 there. Yeah, that one looks okay. Got those this side, and then we're gonna go ahead and create the other ones as well. That's that. And then we should have the 2, I believe. Let me just confirm. Yeah. So now with those are looking a little bit better. And then, yeah, that's basically a little bit better there. And okay, so it looks like I missed the 2 there. So let me just go ahead and hide that. So there. Selecting the face and go into edit mode, face select, selecting that, create. Go ahead and create, and then there we go. We got 12. We got 12 portals now. We will not need that anymore. And then from here, we will just now come over to entities. Now for entities, we're gonna make sure that the shell and the details are attached to our entities. So we're gonna go up here to our details selection, unhiding that, and make sure you're on base, and then select it. Hold on a second. Select, and then there you go. That should be fine. And that's the texture dictionary we had given it before. We have the come here, and we're going to add the object here as well. All right, as your entity attached there, and actually, hold on. Add, and that's the name. And we're also going to add the shell as well, only the top level. And making sure shell's on limbo. And details are on the room you're in. As we continue to go around, we're just going to confirm everything. So we got the limbo here, and we have room assigned to 0. Limbo must be, room must be attached to room 1, and limbo will be attached to 0, which is limbo. So now we can basically just confirm some stuff, making sure everything is according to what we need to have, and we can go ahead and export this out into our export folder, into our folder here that we have on our desktop. Go ahead and hit export. Open up our folder. I'm gonna just go back over to here to our exported folder, and what we will do now is we're going to open up this inside to our Visual Studio. Inside Visual Studio, you can see pretty much all the information that was exported from our Blender. So now what we will do is we're going to grab the name of our Y bin, okay, and we're going to go ahead and create a new Y type. I'm going to paste that name and hit OK. I'm going to open up that Y type. As you can see, it's a blank, so we're going to grab all this, Control A, Control C, and then Control A and Control V on that. So then we're going to go ahead and hit save. Now from here, what we'll need to do is we'll make sure we need to have some other information. So we'll need to have some, what do you call that, Y map. So I'm just going to open up a template and then locate my template for my Y map. These templates will be available on my Discord, so you can feel free to join my Discord and you can grab this template from my Discord. All links and information will be in the description below. Alright, so now with that Y map opened here, what we need to do is now start to basically fill out some information. So we're going to replace this blah stables here with the name of our Y bin. So we're going to go ahead and just grab our name of our Y bin. Just going to copy this whole information here. You can grab that top information and paste this. We're not going to need a COL, so we're going to just remove all that. And then from here, we're going to just now fill out the rest of this. I have auto fix, so this is just going to go ahead and fix everything here. But you want to make sure is you're going to come over here and then search and then paste in, replace that with your Y bin name. All right, so now from here, we're going to open up our Y type. And once you have your Y type open, we're going to hit Control F and hit find limbo. We are going to look for the exterior number of portal counts. Now this is not the same as our room count. So now though they look the same, but sometimes you may have actually on your, more or less on your room. So we're just going to go with 12 and hit OK. Now from here, what we'll need to do is we'll need to find our exterior Y map. Once we located our exterior Y map, we're going to grab that information, bring it over here. We'll need to grab all this top information here and then copy that. And once we do that, we can come over here to our Visual Studios and then replace everything on the top here. We will also have to grab the name, the actual coordinates of the actual room. Now inside Codex Explorer, you will not be able to see this, the name. You may have more names within here. So this will be encrypted. So the easiest way I found of doing this is opening up a Codex itself and then locating that Y map. And from here, you'll be able to see the name. So you can see right here is the name that we need. So we're going to grab all that information here, confirming that is the right information. Coming over here to our Visual Studios, and we're going to replace this top line right here. Now, one thing important to know is that the rotation W must be -0. If it is showing 0, we must show a -0. And if it's -0, we must show 0. And if it's 1, then we'll leave it remaining as 1. But this is only on the W for the rotation. Very important. All right, we'll grab a copy of everything here. And actually, you know what? Let's just open up our Codex. We won't need this anymore, so we're just going to go ahead and close that. In here, what we'll need to do is let's just refresh. Okay, so I don't have int middle, so I'm going to just grab the name of that, and I'm going to right click, hit new, Y map. Place that int middle name. We'll then now open up that Y map. And as you can see, this is pretty much the same template. So we're going to Control A, Control C on that, and then Control A and Control V on that as well. Go ahead and save. Alright, so that's successfully saved. And now we can just close this. We don't need that. I don't want to overwrite anything. And we won't need this one as well. From here, we can pretty much now close this project. And we can now open the project. We're going to locate our stream folder where we had saved this here. So we'll just looking for the OSG house 01, and it's pretty much right here. Hit select folder. As you can see, pretty much the interior and now is part of the model. So we're gonna just like look around, making sure did we miss anything at all, and then we can just continue and go from there. I can go ahead and I can check the physics of inside right now. And so as you can see right now, we have no physics inside. We have to basically try to sometimes closing off there. And while inside they should appear, but this time I'm actually facing some issues. Later on, I will show you how I actually came about to fixing this. It seemed to be a little error in here. So inside here, I can see everything with the collisions there. And I discovered that actually, in fact, that I had to re-export this out from Blender. It seemed like there was some issues going along within the way when I export it, so sometimes that's happening. Sometimes you may have to re-export things outside of Blender and re-porting that into Blender. As you can see, as I continue going along, I'm trying to figure out my different, making sure all my stuff is correct. So I am noticing that I don't have a manifest as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and create this manifest for the interior name here. So I'm just gonna go and just fix all this information. I was thinking this could have been the issue, but it wasn't, so I'm just gonna make sure I remove that COL and then just calling that. This little green label below is just thinking that this is from a previous project that I was working on. So don't worry about that. We're going to just make sure that all the names are matching for the house that we were working on, not the stables. Coming back over here into Blender, we're going to look for the YMF. Solemns and Codex is not yet built for this, so we're going to look for something from previously in the game. We're going to hit Control A and Control C on that, and we're going to go ahead and save this. Save as. We're going to locate our stream folder, and inside our stream folder we're just going to look in for that house 0 OSG house 01 and go in this stream. So now what we'll do is I'm going to just add the name of our what do you call that, exterior or interior name, because we already have a manifest in here. So we're going to create another manifest, but with adding the name of our interior to it, because our exterior, it doesn't matter, just add a name end. All right, so now as you can see, I'm gonna try to figure this out again and open up this project. And as you can see, it still is not showing me any interior at all. Right, so from here, like, I'm continuing trying to figuring this out and not trying to understand why this was not showing up for me. Again, I'm coming back over here to my project folder, and I'm just gonna confirm a few little details to making sure. It's always best to make sure that your information is correct, right? Checking all your coordinates and your names within here. This is a very key point. You want to just double check to make sure you have everything correctly set up. This is all about troubleshooting if you can't figure this out. You can open up my Y type and just open and check to make sure that I have all the proper names inside my Y type. There, sometimes the name may have had been changed, so we have to correct that later on. But it seemed like everything was good. Sometimes you have to close off Codex itself, and then sometimes you have to reopen it at the second time to make sure that everything was good. It sometimes has issues that way, so sometimes closing off the Codex itself and reopening it sometimes solves the issues. But in my case, I will not have that type of issue. I will still have the same issues as before. As you can see, I am now going to basically open up that. I'm just going to double check some things in here just to confirm that everything is still correct there. And we are going to now just come over here to our folder. Just going to open up. Gonna locate my Y type again and just double checking some information inside my Y type in a few seconds. Please also don't forget to join my Discord if you have need any help or anything like that. We do have a help channel along with our help, what do you call that, threads. So you can go ahead and create a thread, look at some past threads from other people, seeing if you had some related issues as what they did. We're here for you. All right, so in here I'm gonna just come back, and I know this is probably around the middle of the house. I'm gonna just select my project, select stream, select folder. So still have the shell, but I'm going to just confirm on my physics. Still no physics, as I mentioned earlier. This things like this sometimes happen, so you want to make sure you can see the physics well inside Codex. It's meaning that if you're not seeing it, there's a step that may have been missed, or a step. Sometimes you have to re-exporting out the stuff from Blender. I'm just continuing to making sure that all my numbers are correct. I have my portal counts and my names are all correct inside here, and then I will continue on to try to figure this out. Yes, checking my manifest that I did have the manifest here. Just pasting the Y type again, just making sure that I have the name, so everything should be matching. I have 4 records of the OSG house 01 with the COL at the end. And you can see they're all pretty much highlighted here. Okay, I'm going to just now come over here to Blender. I'm just going to double check inside Blender, even though the Y type is showing me the same. I'm going to go ahead and selecting my everything in here. And I will come and just make sure the flags are applied to the BVH as well. Sometimes the flags are could be the issue, so I'm gonna hit select all and go ahead and export that. Just keep it in the same folder. Going over here into my Codex Explorer, I'll go now ahead and import that last exported file. So locating my file inside desktop here in my tutorial folder, go into my exported folder, and I will basically now go to the shell and collisions, and this is the correct one. Double checking everything looking good. I'm just going to confirm that all the transforms are set to 0. It's very important to make sure this is set to 0. Everything seems to be okay with the shell, the collisions being set as 0. So I'm going to go ahead and just close some other things I had open previously. And then we'll make sure, can we still see it? Everything still seems to be fine. So coming back in here, I'm going to go ahead and close my project. And then I will reopen my project again. Selecting my stream folder. And there you go. Pretty much what it was the flags that I did not apply. So it seemed to be the issue of why I could not see earlier. But this is how the collisions should look inside. And you should be able to see everything. Now later on I'll try to fix this. There's some gaps I missed along with the modeling when I was creating these door frames, and this exterior does not matter. As you can see, pretty much as we go around, everything is now looking good. We can come over here to our interior instance, and we can see now all this is these blue things are basically what's known as portals. So we have a bounds box around the whole building, and then we have that. We can go ahead and close this. We don't need this anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and restart my server. And once the server has basically came up, don't forget to also to save your blend file along the way. This is a good time to make sure you are saving everything. I'm gonna go ahead and load up RedM. Well, that's launching. Again, thank you guys for coming and checking my videos out. Please be patient, as this does take some time to do my edits, recording edits and uploads. At the same time, I do have a full-time job, or sometimes working 15 hours a day. So I try to get as much time as possible to do these recordings. Hopefully in the next series, Series 5, I will work over how to maybe create a custom door for the game, whether you're using an existing door or you're creating something from scratch there. And we'll show you how to have that working as well. With this particular model, I will use the door that came with the house. I may have to do some edits on the door to making it so it's proper in both outside and inside, and we'll go from there. So as we waiting for this to load, I don't have many resources, so sometimes your resources take a little long. Later on in the series, we'll go over the time cycles, so I don't need this right now. We're gonna close that, so we'll go over and talk about time cycles and our probes and our AMV and everything like that. And you'll see once this loads up, once I get inside to the shell, there are gonna be some dark spots inside of my shell. So as you can see, we're now in here and we can see the interior shell. I'm gonna come in and just walk around. As you can see, it's pretty much everything's good. So there's some grasses sticking out. We'll fix that up later on. Now this over here could be due to the fact of the AMVs that we will go over later on in this series here. And same with over here as well. These are pretty much looking like it could be AMV. This is as well. maybe some faces or something like that, but everything else is looking pretty good. We have some darkness on this what do you call that, chimney here, so we'll work on that. That's most likely an AMV that we'll work on. But other than that, everything is looking good. It's I'm able to walk around, and as you can see, everything is looking good. There's probably some adjustments on the roof. Maybe I can make some adjustments along the way with maybe the way the textures are, and just maybe make it less, make it bigger. I don't know. We'll see. And as I mentioned over here at this door frame, we have some issues that I have to fix here. So I will fix that. We don't really have to worry about the collisions, but more just maybe filling the gaps with our now if it's a huge gap and you're able to go through it, then yeah, we have to maybe make changes on the collisions here. Really, hopefully you like these series that I'm doing. I'm trying to make them short and also trying to make this open to the public there. I do not see a lot of people out there doing anything for the RedM. I see a lot of FIVEM. This is very similar to FIVEM stuff, so thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and join my Discord for more stuff. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.